Given that x is something, again, a complicated looking expression, okay, which of the following values for a, we have another variable a over here, yields the lowest value for mod x. Now we need the lowest value for mod x, not for x, which means that this x should not be negative, right? We need, I mean, in case, let's say if x were, let's say there were various possible values and x, there one value was -5, another value was 1, -1, another value 1, another value, let's say 10. What will give you the minimum? What will be the minimum value of x? Minimum value of x will be -x. But what will be the minimum value of mod x, of absolute value of x? That is going to be 1. Right? Because mod x, mod of -5 is going to be 5, right? And mod of -1 is going to be 1. So, of course, 1 will be smaller. So, we need to find the minimum value of mod x. Mod x is basically the distance, right? The minimum value of the distance. Okay. So, now, given that this thing, okay, we have another power of 2 and another power of 2. So to make it comparable, and this is what we'll do in all exponents questions, we need to make the base the same. Only then can we do something. That is the first thought that should come to your mind. If the base is not the same, anyway, there is no rule that you can apply, right? Or the exponent is the same in any case. But of course, more common is, to make the base same. And here we have 16 and we have 8 and we have a 2. So we know that we're looking for everything in terms of 2. Okay. So then we say x is equal to 2 to the power a minus, now 16 is 2 to the power 4 and 4 into 15 is going to give me 60. So 2 to the power 60 plus 8 is 2 cube and I have an 18 on top. So it will give me 3 into 18, that is 54. So 2 to the power 54. I hope you understand how we are using these, right? If I say 8, if I say 8 to the power 18, that is nothing but 2 cube and the whole thing to the power 18. Because this entire 8 is to the power 18, which means that I'll get 2 into 2 upon 2 to the power 3 into 18, right? The two of them will get multiplied. So I'll get a 54. That's how I've got these. Okay, now I need the lowest value of mod x. Now think about it. The lowest value that mod x can take is 0. It can't be negative as we discussed. Lowest value it can take is 0. Okay, now this is a positive term and this is a positive term. Doesn't matter what the value of a is. Remember, even if it is a negative value, even if I have, let's say, -3 here, it will still give me a positive term. This is still going to be a 1 upon 8, still a positive term. So this is positive and this is positive. Both of them are positive. This is a negative term. If I want this to be as close as 0, as close to 0 as possible, my 2 to the power a plus 2 to the power 54 should be as close as possible to 2 to the power 60. If this is almost 2, if it becomes 2 to the power 60, well, great, then it will just get cancelled and my mod x will become 0. But even if it is very slightly more or less than 60, this entire thing, then again, my entire thing will add up to, become very, very, my mod x will become then very, very small, right? I have to make it as close to 0 as possible. All right, which means that I have to make this as close to 2 to the power 60 as possible. All right. Now, think about the number line. Where are, the various exponents placed? So, let's say I have 0 over here and my options are that A could be 54, 58, 59, 60, 61. So, let me place 2 to the power 61 over here. Yeah, this is how my exponents could be placed. So I have 0 here, 2 to the power 61 here. Right in the middle will be 2 to the power 60. We discussed at the start of the webinar that all the powers of 2 are placed in a way such that the next power will be as far away from the previous power as the previous power is from 0. We saw that right? In detail, we saw that, okay. So then this will not change for any of the further powers also, right? So then if I have 2 to the power 61 here, then 2 to the power 60 is going to be right in the middle, because whatever this distance is for 2 to the power 61, it gets doubled, because my 2 to the power 61 is nothing but 2 into 2 to the power 60. Okay. So that is why it will be right in the middle. What about 2 to the power 59? I'll say it will be somewhere here, right in the middle of 0 to 2 to the power 60. Same logic, here is 2 to the power 58. Same logic here, 2 to the power 57. So where is my 2 to the power 54? This one. I mean, it's somewhere very, very close to 0 in comparison with the other powers. It's right here somewhere. This would be my 2 to the power 54. This will be that this tiny, relatively speaking, it will be this tiny distance, right? Okay. Now, I need to make my 2 to the power 54 plus 2 to the power 8 as close to 2 to the power 60 as possible. What if my A is 59? Let me take another color. If my A is 59, say I have to add this 2 to the power 59 plus this tiny 2 to the power 54. So is it very close to 2 to the power 60? Well, it isn't really. Let's look at other options. What else can we do? Okay, now if I say, let me put A equal to 60, what happens then? If I have 2 to the power 60, 2 to the power 60 is this entire thing, plus 2 to the power 54, which is nothing but this tiny thing. Overall, what did I get? I got something over here, right? This would be my sum, this sum, 2 to the power A plus 2 to the power 54, right? And here I have 2 to the power 60. So is this very close to 2 to the power 60? Certainly seems so. What if, let's say, A were 61? Then what happens? Then I would have to add this entire thing 2 to the power 61 plus this little bit of 2 to the power 54. And is this close to 2 to the power 60? Well, no, it's much, much larger than that, right? So then what should be my value of A such that these two are almost equal? The value of A should be 60, because 2 to the power 54 is very, very small compared to 2 to the power 60. So essentially, what are we doing here? We are approximating. You know, we had our previous webinar was on approximations, on estimations, and those also get tested in GMAT. In fact, I have another question on that, and we'll discuss that too. But essentially, what we are saying is that A should be 60 as well, because this is extremely small compared to 2 to the power 60. So it will just add a tiny little bit to 2 to the power 60. But 2 to the power 61 is much, much greater, and 2 to the power 59 is relatively quite small compared to the power 60. So that is the reason why answer here is D.